I've no idea. Is it working? Morning, Roger Heaps is in the workshop. Good morning, Roger. Right, bear with me. We've got to get this thing to catch up. Dum dum dum. Oh, there we go. Look. Perfect. Kill Switch BB is also in the workshop. Good morning, Kill Switch. Hi, Andy and crew. Roger says, good morning, all. Richard Perry. Hi, Andy and crew from GB, from England. Good job, Richard. And oh, look, I've missed some people. They weren't on the other screen. Jim K, 28 degrees here, Andy. Well, if that was centigrade, it'd be balmy. But I'm guessing that's probably, what the hell is 28 Fahrenheit? I have no idea. Honestly, that's ridiculously cold. So probably is centigrade. I don't know. I don't do Fahrenheit in any way, shape, or form. But Jim might have converted it for me already. I can't even spell Fahrenheit. There we are, to Celsius. Oh, God, I'm not with it this morning. Oh, -2 degrees Celsius. It's just freezing. Okay, that's not too bad. It's not freezing here at the moment, though. God, there's so many adverts going on at the moment. Right. Thanks, Jim. Mike Bodansky. Good morning, Andy and crew. Just got back from a week's vacation at the beach. Ready for some shop time. Excellent. Gary Lennox. Good morning, Andy. Hope you're doing well. Cheers. Good morning, Gary. Doctor of Computers. Good morning, good buddy. Roger D. 10-4. Over and out. I used to use CB radios. In fact, I have a plan. I have a plan for interdepartmental communication system here at home, between the workshop and well, the canteen, basically the cafe, the mess. Call it what you like. Mrs. Mechanic may not be over impressed though, to be honest. 26 degrees here in Toronto at the moment, so it must be just above freezing then if you're gonna go the other way. Simon, get the pie warmed up. Yes, absolutely. I'm just going to try and catch up the comments, Simon, honestly. Connor K, hi Andy. Wish I was in Monaco this weekend. F1 forever. Oh my word. Is it the Monaco Formula 1? That will be very, very cool. I can't watch it. I haven't got it's probably on Sky, and I haven't got a subscription to Sky, so it's not going to happen. Andreas Muleman. Hi, Andy from Belgium. Good morning, Andreas. Jim K, I did the conversion for you. You set me up again, Jim. 28 degrees C. Perfect. Thank you, Jim. A balmy day for you then. Hell of a lot warmer than it is here. Steve, evening, Andy. Chat. Okay, thumbs up to chat's good. Simon Roll, send a cuppa to the workshop, Roger Dodger. Exactly. It should be a lot of fun, actually. We used to use CB radios all the time when we had the four-wheel drive centre, the off-road driving centre, and it was great fun. We did all sorts of weird stuff on the radios, and had an immense. Oh, are we still live? I've got an error occur. Please try later. Oh my word! Can you still see the live stream? What's going on? Bear with me. We could have technical problems. No. Can you guys still see the live stream? Because I can't get it at this end. Simon, you're live. Okay, thanks, Simon. Let me just keep trying because there's something not quite right at this end. I might have to start YouTube again. Yeah, let's just start that again and see if that's going to work. Bear with me. Bear with me. I was getting comments, which was weird, but I wasn't getting any visual feed. Dum 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 dum. Oh, hang on. What's going on there? Right. Doesn't want to know. Okay, well, I can't see what's on the screen that you can see, but I can still see some chat. Gary Lennox, yes, we're live, still live, Andy. Connor K, we can see and hear you. Thank you, Connor. Jim K, we're good. Right, well, welcome to, I have no idea what kind of live stream this is going to be because it's, well, I don't need to see the picture, I suppose. Anyway, it is getting cold here, so I decided to upgrade to my holly mug. I'm sure Steve will be very happy about that. And, well, we need to get that pie in the pie warmer because, well, did you see from the thumbnail what brand of pie it was? See, that's good and hot. That's really hot. That's like it's just been made out of the kettle, but I made it like 10 minutes ago. Okay, I was on my way down on Friday from Auckland with the trailer with another ROV to service. I was busy all day yesterday. Mrs. Mechanic helped me all day yesterday as well, actually. So if we both work again today, then we'll get both ROVs finished, fingers crossed, by the end of today, which is pretty good. So we have, warning, contains deliciousness, Wild Bean Cafe, and in here is the infamous, there you go, look, I've got to do it to camera, I need to out camera, Andy, there you have it. How's that? The infamous gourmet steak and cheese. So, to the pie warmer, because I'm getting hungry. Right, turning around, 3, 2, 1. Okay, here we go. Here we go. We've got all sorts of stuff going. Look, this is what I'm getting at my end. Look, if any of you are computer geniuses, what does that mean? It's playback ID, whatever it is. Please try again later. Learn more. I learned nothing, honestly. Right, bear with me. Bear with me. I've got to open the door and stick that in there. Now, what do you reckon? Been in the fridge. I reckon probably round about there, whatever that is, about 12 minutes. Let's do that. Oh, I did get Alan's panels picked up for the CB750. They're all in the glass cabinet, keeping nice and clean and shiny and not scratched, hopefully. Right, let's wait for the ping on that one. Dum, 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 dum. Right, so just going over here while we're talking pies, we have, yes, look, I got some little, I got loads of them. They're all in here. Look, lots and lots and lots and lots of little white strips. That means lots and lots of pies. Lily's been moved. Well done, Lily. And we've now got the New Zealand Pieology Survey 2021. And the Big Ben Steak, Cheese and Bacon Double XL got an overall score of 64. If we go back over here, this is the score sheet on the cardboard. So just to recap, the taste and flavour of the contents, it got 4. Structure, folly, partiness, got 3 out of 10. Runnability, it got 7. Meat quality, 3, because really basically there wasn't any. Pie filling volume, this is the pie to crust ratio, it got 6. Now, availability stroke logistics, pretty readily available, so it scored quite high there at 7. Pastry taste rating, this was a pastry only taste, it was crap, 2. Is the pie still tasty when cold? It wasn't really, to be honest. It needed the heat to make it edible, in all honesty. Packaging design wasn't too bad, it got a 6. Recyclable score over the packaging, it only got 1, because it just put it in the bin. Post pie heartburn factor. This one I couldn't fill out during the live stream, but actually I didn't get any heartburn. I had the odd little burp now and again, so I give it 9 out of 10, which I thought was pretty good. Mainly because basically I was eating nothing, I would say. Stuffability score was down to 3, that was pants. But obviously the pie server attractiveness, because Mrs. Mechanic bought the pie, you know, perfect, 10 out of 10. So overall score was 64 for that one, so we can get rid of that. And we've got our new one all ready for the Wild Bean Cafe Gourmet Steak and Cheese. So we'll fill that out in a minute. Okay, back to the bench. Right, what is going on with YouTube today, honestly? Maybe it's banned my video from New Zealand. Yeah. Anybody else watching in New Zealand? This is ridiculous. Is it going to work? Oh, we've got an advert. We've got an advert this time. Okay. Let's see if that carries on. Skip ads. No, doesn't want to work. Okay, well, we can cope without it. Just seen Steve's comment. Oh my word, what have we got now? Oh, Charlie Chalk. Right, I'll read that later on, Charlie. Right, okay, where are we? Right, yes, Sal was bang on. Steve, and fantastic mug. Cheers, Steve. Appreciate that. Still hot. Awesome. Al Elish, good afternoon, Andy. Good afternoon, morning, actually, for me. Al Elish. Connor K, coffee is always hotter in a holly mug. Actually, that's a good one. I like that. We should put that on there. Coffee is always hotter in a holly mug. Oh, so much to do. Salmon roll. That pie is at the top of the board already. I don't want to preempt things. I mean, you guys know that I like the Wild Bean Cafe pies, but I mean, let's face it. It doesn't. It's not going to be hard to beat the one that's already on there. We all know that. But it might. I don't know. This with there being 13 criteria, each scored out of 10. It's anybody's guess whether that Wild Bean Cafe pie, the gourmet steak and cheese, is gonna be the ultimate pie in New Zealand. I don't know. I think it's way too early to say. And I mean, there's lots of different pies in New Zealand, and some that I've never tasted before. So, it would be foolish, absolutely foolish to preempt this. We need to do a proper, thorough study, without a doubt. Now, James Koralowski, is that right? No Tool Girls, no watch, Andy. Sorry, James. We'll see you later, mate. There's no Tool Girls today. Connor K, taste is a... Oh, I do understand what you're saying there, James. I do. Connor K, taste is a reasonably priced pie. Man, you guys are on fire. Reasonably priced pie. That's something we didn't put in there. Cost. Bugger. Cost. Should we include cost? Don't know. I mean, why should, if you're a real pieologist, really cost shouldn't get in the way, should it? To be honest. But good point. Gary Lennox, how do the pies in New Zealand compare to those in the UK? Well, in all honesty, I was more of a sausage roll kind of a guy in the UK. It didn't really go with the pies. But if we can sidestep to sausage rolls, then Thomas's, the bakers, sausage rolls, there is no better. They are the ultimate sausage roll, for me at least. And also readily available. They were. This is going back about 12 and a half, 13 years now. There were many Thomas the Bakers around. So you could always access your favourite sausage roll. And they weren't that expensive. So I can't really compare, Gary. I mean, the only pies I had in England were the ones that you used to buy in the metal tins. And I didn't like them. I just didn't. They were always soggy when I cooked them, and they were just... no. I'd go back to them like once every year, maybe go and buy one. I think, that'll do as an emergency meal if Mrs. Mechanic's away, because obviously Mrs. Mechanic ran the canteen. But sorry, mess. The kitchen. Get into trouble now. But every time I cooked one of those, I regretted buying it. Now then, Mike Bozansky, paper bag in pie warmer. I see a fire in your future. I know. I'm tempting fate. But it's got foil in there. But to be honest, that foil's really old. And I'm just wondering if Mr. Mouse has been in there at some point. So I'm just trying to not die, basically. And hey, a few flames out the pie warmer. Really, what seriously could go wrong? Burn the workshop down? I hope not. Right, hang on. Bear with me. Oh my, there's loads of comments. Andy Sparrow. NZ. Oh, you don't mean New Zealand Herald, do you? Am I in trouble now, Andy? Are you going to put me on the front page? Bila Malpa. Pronounced totally the wrong accent, probably. In Poland, there is 51 degrees Fahrenheit. Thank you, Biala. Appreciate that. That's quite warm, actually. Going by the previous conversion I did. Simon Rawl, the UK Wild Bean Cafe Cornish pasty is very good. We don't get a Cornish pasty here. It doesn't exist. Now, where are we next? Dum dum dum. Oh, Andy Sparrow again. Z pies are nice. I, in all honesty, because of the fuel card that I have for my my work truck that I get given, which is very nice. I have to go to the BP variety of petrol station, or I can use it at the gas. But gas pies are crap, so I don't go to the gas petrol stations. I go to the BP ones, and I've probably been to nearly every BP petrol station in New Zealand now. Nearly everyone. I wouldn't say everyone. I'm going to save a few for later on. Now, John Nuttall, think there needs to be 2 taste testers. See if the mouse turns its nose up at some but eats others. Lol. There's a story coming. I'm not going to do the story. No, I am going to do the story. Let's get the story done now, because that was a great segue, John. Let me get me Forge thingamajig. In fact, you can come with me, actually, because dum 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 dum. Turning around. 3, 2, 1. Oh, God's sake! 3, 2, 1. There we are. Look, right. Let me get me ashtray, because I forgot my ashtray. I'll stick that in there. Right now, for this, I now need gloves. I need gloves. I need some gloves. I've got to wear gloves for this. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit of a problem. There we go. Everything to camera, Andy. Everything to camera. Right. Oh my word. Honestly, gloves here now in New Zealand are getting really hard to get. And these are a size large. And as you can see, size large is a couple of sizes too small. I use 2XL normally, I think it is. But I couldn't get any. So now I have these sort of spring-loaded fingers that constantly want to keep closing all the time. Right, okay. Are you ready for this? Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to do it over here because it's not particularly hygienic. Okay. Where do I start? Let's do a piece to camera. Here we go, look. Okay, so yesterday, and you all know Shop Dog Marmite. Yesterday, Marmite, we were outside doing the ROV under the awesome carport, by the way, and Marmite starts sniffing around the timber. We've got some spare timber stacked up along the side. It's off the ground. It's about 3 or 4 foot off the ground. And there's quite long lengths and different sections and stuff, but that's incidental. And she's sniffing around the timber, and I commented to Mrs. Mechanic at the time, I said, she's staring at this timber, just sat there, just motionless, just looking at the timber. Her ears are pricked up. And I said, obviously she's about to say to me that this will make a great kennel, Daddy. You need to make me a big kennel out of all this timber that's spare. But she didn't. And then she ran around the back of this metal stand that's holding the timber up, which is an old bicycle rack, believe it or not. And she's right against the fence line, and she's dead still. Ears are pricked up, doing nothing. Just studying. And I thought, it's more than just the timber. There's something going on. And anyway, there's this sort of sudden kerfuffle. I mean, I'm busy fitting calipers and stuff, and I wasn't really taking too much notice. And there's this sudden kind of kerfuffle. And I look across, and, well, there's either the world's largest mouse trying to escape down the fence, and sort of, it's a mesh fence, and which has got like a greenery thing, garden stuff, entwined in it. So this giant mouse, which realistically, going by the length of the tail, was most definitely a rat, was trying to escape, by which point Marmite decided that the escape would be into her mouth. But very tentatively, she was, this rat, I think, was poisoned. We have got some poison around. It was running around really slowly. It was quite a young one. And I need some tools. Hang on, let's go get some tools. There's no way I am picking up a rat. There we are, look. That'll work. Okay. Oh, good old Tang tools on the camera again. Right, here we go, look. Okay, so let me try and do this. So I've got the oh, hang on, the pie's gonna have to, we need a couple of minutes to allow it to stand. We know that now. All right, so bear with me, because Marmite basically very gingerly was sort of nibbling away at this very slow moving rat. She's never caught a rat before, or a mouse. She just looks at them and then they run off basically. Right, where's the pickup point? There's a pickup point. Okay, so anyway, she was messing around with this rat, and I went over to coax her, to give her a bit of coaching, and to jeer her on a little bit, to crack on. You need to get the mouse, this rat, big mouse, in your mouth. We called it a big mouse because Mrs. Mechanic hates rats, and I wanted to keep her working. So anyway, Marmite grabbed this rat eventually, and then decided to completely ignore me and sloth off behind a couple of motorcycles and head up towards a kennel, probably with the view of dissecting said giant mouse and probably then eating it. But knowing that it was a bit lazy and it had probably eaten some poison, I couldn't allow that to happen because, Marmite. So I followed her and asked her very politely to drop said giant mouse, which she did for me, which I was very impressed. And well, I've kept the said mouse for you, just to show you on the live stream that here he is. There is Mr. Giant Mouse, stroke, look at length of tail, Mr. Ratty. So if you're having your breakfast now, I do apologise, but I thought I'd get this out of the way now. So we've got rid of a rat, and it is a small one. So somewhere is Mummy and Daddy. Right, I was half expecting, actually, this bag to have a whopping great hole in it this morning, and Mummy and Daddy have come down and eaten their rat, their dead rat, because that's what rats do, isn't it? They don't want to lose anything. Right. Okay, there you go. A rat on the live stream. Ew. Okay, turning around. 3, 2, 1. Okay, bear with me. We've got all sorts of stuff to get through today. I can't go on massively long. Oh, turning around again. Sorry, I'm an idiot. Because I've still got lots of work to do on the ROVs, and I've only got today to get it done, or both of them done actually. Right, I think we'll do pretty well. We used pliers. I wore gloves. I didn't touch the rat. I did touch the bag. Hopefully rat free. Okay, going back. Let's get caught up with these comments again. At least the comments are working. Right, what's going on? John Nuttall. Oh, done that one. Okay, Dave Shepherd. Good day from Ontario, Canada. Nice. Mike Adams. Hi all. Good morning, Mike. Doctor of Computers. Your issue could be your connection. Close other tabs or try restarting your browser. We will do that. Okay, let's close everything. And we'll close that. And we'll close that. And we're going to open that again. There we go. When IT call me at work, I always put them on speakerphone and I try to be as funny as I possibly can with the guys because, well, they're IT guys and they spend their entire day telling people to turn their computer off and back on again. And if that doesn't work, give them a call back, which, of course, you're back in the queue for half an hour. So it's a really good idea good way of putting off any kind of technical assistance. Right, so let's see if this is going to work this time. If not, I might even... Oh, we've got comments. That's good. We've got comments. Okay. Going back up. Right, so we're doing that now. We're going to skip the ad. Is it going to work? It isn't. It isn't. It's failed again. An error occurred. Please try again later. We will. I don't want to restart the laptop. I can't bother with that. I don't need to see myself. I can see myself on the camera anyway. It's not. I don't need to see myself. I'm not vain like that. Right. So done that one. Mike Adams taking a break to visit with you all before starting on a track bar replacement on my Dodge. Nice job, Mike. Well, good luck with that. Connor K, taste in a reasonably priced pie. Mate, you're on fire, Connor. This is awesome stuff. Is a modification of Clarkson and his star in a reasonably priced car leaderboard. Connor, I did get that. I've watched thousands and thousands of hours of Top Gear, and I do still watch the old ones on a regular basis. It makes me feel good, to be honest. If I'm a bit down one day or a bit knackered, it's like my go-to kind of, and it doesn't matter if you've already seen that episode. For some reason, you know, it's just brilliant, and I much prefer it over to the Grand Tour, to be honest. Especially the stuff that goes on the tent. Not impressed by that at all. That's just a stopgap. Although they say that the Grand Tour have done some good adventures, but if they're not actually doing an adventure, pants. Thank you, Connor. Mike Adams, lol. Simon Roll, he's killed Gary the mouse. That was not a mouse. That was a bloody great big rat. Well, it was a big rat, but it was a rat. Definitely a rat. See the size of his feet. Alan Cook, hi. Good morning, Alan. Adam Lockington, big old sausage fingers. Yes, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Jim K. Gloves are hard to get here in the US also. Glove prices have more than doubled here in New Zealand. Not just the retail price, but obviously the cost prices have gone through the roof. In actual fact, the cost price is probably almost 3 times. Ongoing sellers are trying to, they're basically cutting their profits to try and hold the price back, but it won't be long before we're about $50 retail, $50 a box of gloves, which is just mental. I try and only use them when I need to use them, and I do recycle them. Simon, good girl, Marmite. Yes, absolutely. She did a fantastic job, and she got many treats afterwards. She's just not a catcher. She just doesn't catch anything, but she caught a rat, and it's a big step. It's taken her. I mean, she's 11 years old now. It's Marmite. She had a birthday last weekend. She's taken a while to get this sorted out, but she's got there in the end. Mike Adams, you showed us the rat, and Queen popped into my mind. Another one bites the dust. Lol, fantastic, good song. Good evening from South Africa. Good evening, ZS3PV. Alan Cook, I'm going to send package on Monday. Okay, Alan, thank you very much. That's the drone chassis, isn't it, that you made? Awesome job. Mike Bozansky, don't forget that pie. No, absolutely not. I think we're about there. Let me finish my cigarette first, because I don't like to eat and have a cigarette, but I don't mind it being in the same vicinity. Whereas if you're in Australia, you're not allowed to eat anywhere near anybody smoking. Not at the pubs, anyway. Similar to Steve, been away all week in the northeast, giving some diag and scope training and filming. It'll be good to be back in my own bed tonight. It's always nice to get home. It is. Everything just fits, and it's comfy, and it's nice, and it's not hard, and you're not getting into little tiny showers that you can't even move in, which is what I had last week in Auckland. The number of times I smacked my elbow into the glass door, and it was one of those like 3 single, like a Louvre thing, where it pulls one and then the next and the next, and so they were only quite narrow little panels, and one of them got a really good whack. I thought it was going to break, to be honest. Simon Roll, tenner a box for gloves in the UK. A tenner a box. That's like $25. That's sort of normal price for New Zealand. I mean, well, $20 to $25 normally, depending on the brand and the quality and stuff. Alan Cook, how's Holly? Holly is doing just fine. She's very, very busy, and from what I understand, she is changing jobs. She is staying within the motor industry, just a similar kind of role, just moving to a different company. So I wish her the very best of luck with that. And parts are about 2 to 3 weeks away now for the DR, so it won't be long before she's back in the workshop. We'll have a great time finishing that bike off, I'm sure. Looking forward to that very much, actually. We've got lots of news to give you, but I'm holding back. I can't give you the news at the moment. Connor K, Yay, the old Top Gear is better than the Grand Tour and way better than the BBC attempt at the new Top Gear. I just don't even watch the new Top Gear. It just doesn't, it's just the only thing in common is the fact that it's got the same title. Not impressed. Just how is it? Sorry, just how it is. Still watch the old Top Gear as well. That was my, that is what some say. Absolutely. Some say. Mike Adams, I was buying the 9 MIL gloves from Harbor Freight here in the States. 1 year ago, they sold for $13 US a box, or per 50 count box, yes. And now they're 23. Wow. So that's not quite double, but it's not far off. We're more than double here. And it's just horrendous. It really is. Right, we have a pie to go and get. Here we go. Are you ready? Okay, 3, 2, 1. There we go. Right. Oh, the workshop's looking quite spartan at the moment. All the bikes are outside. I'm hoping it's not going to rain today. But yes, there's all sorts going on at the moment. Working my ass off getting these ROVs done. It's quite nice to have a bit of a respite with you guys, to be honest. Right, here we go. No flames, which is good. Way, nearly lost it. Right, okay. To the bench. Look at that for camera work. Fantastic. Going to fall off the stool now. You wait. Okay, put it on the cardboard for insulation purposes. Now, oh, I need a knife. Now, did I touch the rat with a knife? I don't think I did. We'll be all right. We will survive. Okay, knife is extracted. Now, we've got to do this properly, haven't we, chaps, like we did last time. It's going to get a bit quicker, though, I think. Don't want to bore you too much with pies, if that's possible. Now, we've got a nice shiny blade in there, so we'll have a look inside first. Is it cooked? Well, it was actually pre-cooked. All I've had to do with this one is warm it up. So we'll give it a little flap. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Look at that. How's that? Right. Okay. We'll lose the knife and we'll turn you around. Oh, my word. Is it level? Is it level? It is solid level, actually. There we go. Right, so I need to plug you back in as well because, well, I might not do any. I don't think I'll do any videos this afternoon, but I like to keep it plugged in just in case. There we go. Right, 93%. That's fantastic. Good job. Okay, so get rid of the knife. Got the pen in hand. Twizzle that round. Okay, so here we go. I know what to expect with this because I eat a lot of these. I eat way too many of these, but I know they're good. And they never fail. They never fail, honestly. You know what? It needs a bit longer. It's not hot. I like it hot. Hang on. Let's go and chuck it back in for a couple more minutes. Sorry to be a pain, but you've got to do the pie justice. All right, bear with me, bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. Okay, so we now know 15 minutes rather than 12 is probably the best option. Stick him back in there, look. Let's give him a... Yeah, that should do the trick, shouldn't it? Right. In fact, so let's give him a little bit more. I don't mind it being too hot. Okay. So what else can we do while that's doing? Okay, we've got some parcels. Let's do that one. Oh, God. Very, very heavy. Ugh. Okay. Jeez, Andy, get organised. Okay, here we go. Now, this arrived earlier in the week. Got a pretty good idea what it is. Where's my knife? Oh, get rid of the pie. On the trousers, as always. Okay, this is from Asmus in Taupo. My go-to supplier. Oh, I did get something else from Asmus as well, actually. I'll show you that. So what have we got? Oh, we've got the bolts. Here we go. Handy mechanic. Look at that. And there they are. Look, they even put a card in as well for the live stream. Top blokes. Customer services. Taupo sales at asmus.co.nz. Asmus.co.nz. Customer services, and that's where the base look. Very, very helpful, chaps. Very good. Right, so we've got some M6 by 30 cap heads. They will do the trick just fine. Excellent job. We need those. And these ones, what have we got here? Oh, yes, countersunks. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Oh, they're supposed to be countersunk. They're supposed to be countersunk. You sent the wrong ones. Shit. All right, I'll have to ring them. Oh, I needed those this week as well. That's a bit of a ball ache. Well, saying that, these better be countersunk as well, because these need, yes, they see, I asked for countersunk M6 as well. And these are the M8s, so at least I've got those. They're for a huge project that's coming up, which I've got 20 more of the, turning you around. You don't want to stare at a naked bench, do you? That's not good. Yes, remember those brackets that I made for the front suspension, those braces? Jim knows what I'm on about. Well, I've run out and I need more. So I was up in, when I was up in Auckland last week, I sourced a new laser cutting place, a place that I'd used years ago up in Silverdale called One Stop Cutting Shop. In fact, did I get that card? I don't know if I did or not. I know I picked somebody's card up. And they were super helpful. Nice chap there. I was in a bit of a rush actually. I was a bit sort of flustered was the word at the time. So the guy kept me on the straight and narrow, and I gave him the ones that I'd made, the prototypes for him to draw up. And they've come back with a price for the quote, which I'm very happy with. So I'm going to be emailing them tomorrow, and they can make hopefully get that they're going to do a 1 unit cut, just to make sure we don't get any heat distortion and stuff on the steel, which was a problem at the previous company that I used. I won't give their name out. So hopefully they'll get those cuts Monday morning, and then Monday afternoon or maybe Tuesday morning I can flick up there, check that everything's correct, measure them all up, make sure it's as what I want, and then I can give them the go-ahead to get them done, and they should be ready within a week, which means massive project. It's probably going to take me 3 to 4 days to create those brackets. Although maybe a bit less because I'm getting quicker at it, and I shouldn't have to cut those little notches anymore. That's the plan with them getting laser cut. The first batch I laser cut and they got distorted, and they made them 30mm too long to the original. So I had to cut the middle out and weld them, and that was an absolute shit of a job. The second lot I just bought some flat plate steel and did all the cutting myself and cut the notches myself, which was a much bigger job, and really didn't want to do it, but I didn't have a lot of choice at the time. I just had to get on with it. But I need to go back to laser cutting now. There's no way I can make 20 kits. That's 40 brackets, because there's 2 brackets in each kit, plus a couple of spacer plates, plus some more outer plates as well. So there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 components per kit to make up. So it's quite a big job. It's just starting to cool a little bit now. Now then, where are we? Alan Cook, box of gloves are £7.50 in car shop pit stop in Greenfield, North Wales. Well, that's very cheap. Gary Lennox, same here. I prefer the old Top Gear myself. I think there's only one Top Gear, and that was the original, wasn't it? Fireblade. Only a mechanic would cut a knife with a Stanley blade. Fireblade pie. Oh, would cut a pie. That's right. Yes, it would cut a pie with a Stanley blade. Sorry, I was just trying to work out, was there some kind of hidden meaning to what you were saying? Sorry, it's beer o'clock. That's all right, mate. Happens to us all. Simon Roll, M630s will do for handlebar mounts though. Oh, they will, but I don't need 400 of them. I've already got a shit ton of those, so they're going to have to swap them. It's just not going to work because the application where they go. It might work. It might work. Not happy. Mike Adams, I have a question about brake bleeders. I'm sure it's the same across the board of vehicles. I tried using anti-seize on them. Oh, you mean the bleed nipple, right? I tried using anti-seize on them, but they still have a tendency to seize and break off later. Any ideas? If you put anti-seize on them, it should be fine, or a little bit of grease. But yeah, I mean, the little Suzuki Samurai, the Spanish-built ones, had the world's smallest bleed nipple on them, and even if you over tighten them, they would seize, and they would break off when you tried to undo them. The wall thickness of the actual bleed nipple itself was so thin. Basically, it was like, I don't know, probably about half a mil plus the thickness of the threads, and it just wasn't enough. They could probably have drilled the hole a bit smaller down the middle and maintained a bit more strength, but they were an absolute shit. Well, I mean, you could warm it up, but before you even attempt, you could warm it up. But I don't like heating brake components. I don't like heating brake or steering components, to be honest, just in case. You can get, hang on, you can, bear with me, in fact, come with me on a journey across the workshop again. Here we go, what's going on with the tripod? This stuff, here we go, I was using this yesterday. I use this a lot now on the ROVs. Now, I don't know if Jared's out of bed or not. S424, this is basically an aluminium version of the copper paste that I use. And I used to use some of this stuff. It was in a green tube. It wasn't Forge, it was a green tube back in the UK that we used to use for my brother's motocross bikes, his KX125 and KX250, on the rear ProLink suspension, the dog bone bushes and bearings and bits and pieces. And if it gets on your fingers, you just can't get rid of it. It's a lot more, is it tactile the right word? It's a lot more adhesive than it adheres a lot more, it's too early for me, than the copper paste stuff. Basically, once it's on, it stays on. If it's on your fingers and you wipe your fingers in your trousers, it's on your trousers forever. Bloody good stuff, definitely worth a try. That's the aluminium type. So what do they call it here? Look, aluminium contact grease professional. Lost in translation. Eliminates squeaking, seizing and jamming, wear and corrosion. Temperature resistant up to 1100 degrees C. That's awesome. So no, I mean, something like that you could try. Doesn't need to be the Forge brand if it's not available, but I find it really, really good. This is actually an aerosol. It's actually pressurized, and you just pull the little trigger and it flexes here on the joint and then it splurts a bit out. Bit hard to control. I tend to get a lot more than I need because I only use tiny amounts, but I suppose on a car you'd use a bit more, so it's probably designed for that kind of application really. But it does come with a little brush on it inside there, which is brilliant because then you're not having, it's all in one package. You don't have a separate brush. You don't have to smear it with your fingers too much. You can pretty much do everything with the brush, which keeps it clean. One thing I would suggest, Mr. Forge, is a screw-on cap, a large cap that you could screw on over the brush, because obviously in a workshop, you know, you get dust and stuff, and we don't want to contaminate the paste on there. So Jared, when you're doing your reports back to Germany, just say, hey, Andy says, a nice big cap, a screw-on cap over there, a long cap, a long deep one, almost like a pen cap that you would screw on, would be perfect. Be a good addition. Right, pie. I think pie is done. Better be now, because I'm getting bloody hungry. Okay, here we go. Second attempt. I think we had 2 attempts on the last pie as well, didn't we? I'm probably just a bit too ginger with. Oh, that's a lot better. A bit too ginger with the old heat. Didn't want to burn it. Okay, right. Turning you around. Sorry, it's a bit sporadic this morning. We're jumping around all over the place. We've got another parcel to do, and I know there's a lot of other stuff in there. And we've also got some yellow boxes to look in, which is odd. I know. Right. Okay. So, here we go. How hot is it this time? That's better. That's a lot better. Let's just try YouTube again. You see, it's happy to play the adverts. Dumb YouTube. There we go. No. Doesn't want to play. Oh well. Such is life. Now then. John as well, get the paint in now for the brackets. I've not decided yet whether to spray them with the spray gun, which I do have enough black. No, I don't. We ran out doing the number plate brackets. You're right. Thanks for reminding me. So either I do that or I use the Forge aerosol sprays. But there's quite a bit to spray. I think I'll order some more black paints to mix up, because I'm always using that, and I shouldn't really be out of that. Oh, we've got leakage, but I think that's down to my aperture that I cut the autopsy elements. So we can't blame the pie for that one. God, it's filling everywhere. So good. Okay. We've got a little bit of a pie catastrophe going on here. So, professional. So I'm just going to munch my way in and stabilize the pie. And then we'll fill out some scores. Man, that's good. That is really good. I mean, look at the contents. You've got real chunks of meat. That's proper chunks of meat. It's not gristly. That is premium quality meat there. That's why they call it gourmet. Gourmet. Or gourmet, if you can't pronounce things. Right. Okay. Man, that's good. That's exactly what I needed. Okay, trying to multitask. Taste, flavour of the contents. Well, it tastes just like a beef. A steak pie should do, really. Can you get better? You can always get better. I can't give it 10. I just can't. I know it's my go-to pie, but I can't give it 10. I'll give it 9. Contents are 9. And that's probably down to the fact that it's probably processed cheese that's in there, as opposed to, I don't know, non-processed cheese. You know what I mean? That synthetic-y kind of rubbery sort of cheese. Right, structure Foley partners. Well, it's pretty good. We've got a bit of an indent in the bottom with the old thumb. It hasn't broken through. There's a few cracks, and I did have to sort of munch it pretty quick. There was a bit of flow going on. So it's not the strongest pie. I've certainly had ones that are a bit more rigid on the base. So let's give it 8 for that. Runnability. Well, that cheese, when it's hot, it does actually run pretty quick. So you've got to be on your guard. And it's one of those pies that you've got to keep in the vertical orientation. If you were to try and eat it in the horizontal plane, then it would lead to disaster. You'd lose contents. So it does have a runnability factor. But it's not bad. And as it cools, it hardens up. The cheese sort of, it congeals? Is that the word? It sort of loses its viscosity. So it's not too bad. You just got to be on your guard a little bit. It's nowhere near as bad as that last pie. So runnability, I'm going to give it 7. 7 for that. Meat quality is absolutely bang on. It really is. Proper full-size chunks of steak. Seriously, I'm going to give it 10 for that. I think the meat, they couldn't really do any better with the meat. Now, pie filling to volume ratio. This is to do with how much crust versus the filling. And it's not bad. If you look, the pastry is actually relatively thin. So it's not too bad. There's a lot of filling in this small pie. So I'm going to give it 9. I think you probably could go, you could definitely get thinner pastries, but then of course it's going to compromise structure. But hey, you can't win them all. Engineering is a compromise, right? And this pie is clearly engineered. So I'm going to give it 9 for that. I think, again, it could be thinner. Now, availability stroke logistics. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. This is one of my weaknesses because every town, every city, every motorway that I go on, there are these pies waiting for me. They're luring me in. So I constantly get bombarded by, BP. Do I need fuel? Oh, well, I know I've got 3/4 of a tank, but I suppose I should top up. I'll get a pie while I'm there. So I'm only filling up the truck for fuel because the underlying excuse is go and get a pie. So, readily available, yes. Right next to main roads, better than some supermarkets which you've got to go off track to go to. Better than cafes. It's en route, which is fantastic. So I'm sorry, I'm going to have to give it a 10. They're pretty much everywhere. Pastry taste rating. Well, okay. I need some just pastry. Oh, there's a little bit there, look. All right. Not the greatest, actually. It has to work in combination. There we go. Right. It's not bad, but it's not great. I'm going to give it a 6. I have tasted better pastries, and I'm sure there are better pastries out there. Is the pie still tasty when cold? Well, I can answer this because I've eaten lots of these cold, even a few days old in the glove box. It's pretty good. I'm going to give it an 8 for that. It doesn't faze me at all eating one of these cold, which has to be a really good attribute for a pie because they do go cold. Now, packaging design. Well, the packaging is just a paper bag. Its design, well, it's pretty bland, to be honest. There's not a lot of thought going into it. I mean, that's something that I could knock up on Adobe Photoshop in about 2 minutes, in all honesty. But I hope they didn't pay too much to the design company for making this. Okay. It's got the logo on it, so it's recognizable. All right, well, it's not great. I think there's obviously a lot less work has gone into this than, for example, that Big Ben pie packaging. But it is clean and simple and straight to the point. It's going to be tasty. It's telling you, whatever you put in this bag from our place, you're going to like the taste of it. So, what are we going to give? Packaging design, 3, 4. I think a 4. I think all it's going to get is a 4. I think it's very basic. Recyclable score. This is the recyclable score of the packaging and not said pie, because that would be disgusting, wouldn't it, really? It says on the back, please dispose of bag, what's it say? Thoughtfully. So basically in the bin. Or it says recycle where possible. Well, it's paper. It can be recycled. Fully recycled. So I think it should get a 10. I do. I think it's, it's made of paper and probably made, in fact, no, I'm going to give it a 9 because I don't know if the paper that it's made from is itself recycled. Sometimes they say on their packaging made from recycled, products or whatever. Post pie heartburn. Well, again, I can fill this one in now. I don't get it. These do not give me heartburn. So, because of that, it gets a full score of 10. Stuffability score. Does it do the trick? Well, in all honesty, on reflection, if I'm driving up to Auckland, which is a 3.5-hour journey, I'll have a pie about an hour in. This is at Tiru, before I turn right to go up to Matamata. So I get my coffee and eat my pie while I'm making the coffee. But then, about 2 hours later, usually about half an hour before Auckland, I get a bit peckish. And I have one of those sort of OT fruit bar things. I always get a pair of those whenever I get a pie. Honestly, my eating habits are it's like the same every single time. It's weird. There is zero variety, to be honest. So, would you expect a pie to keep you filled and not peckish for 2 hours, or for longer? That's the question here. I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. So, sorry, stuffed ability score. I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it. I was gonna say. I'm gonna give it 7. I'm gonna give it 7 because it's not the biggest pie, and after 2 hours, I'm hungry again. Not massively hungry, just a bit peckish. Now, pie server attractiveness. Now, obviously, this varies enormously on which BP station you go to. There are some very nice assistants that supply that will serve you the pie in some of the BPs around New Zealand, and then there are others. So, this has to be based on where I actually got this pie from, I believe, for it to be a fair comparison. And this pie was purchased from the BP southbound on the 1 just south of Auckland, on the left, obviously, because you can't get on the right because it's a motorway. Yeah, I'm gonna score it. I'm gonna give it a 6. I'm gonna give it a 6. I am. Okay, we need to have a tally up. I need to finish the pie first. Man, these are good. These are really good. And in reality, as it's cooling down, there's more flavour. Which sort of reinforces the fact that it doesn't taste bad when it's cold. Full of flavour. Good meat, not bad pastry at all, good structure to it. I think the only reason why it started to sort of collapse a little bit was due to the autopsy. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay, going down. Can you see? Pretty much. Right, let's tally up. Okay, you're going to do the maths with me. 17, 24, 34, 43, 53, 59, oh God, 67, 71, 80, 90, 97, 103. Right. Check my arithmetic before we do the sheets. So 9 plus 8, that's 17. 24, 34, 43, 53, 59, 67, 71, 80, 90, 97, 103. Cool, I think I'm right. Tell me in the next 60 seconds if I'm wrong, and then we're going to write out the sheet. Right, what's going on with my computer now? Honestly, it's ridiculous. Coming around. There we go, look. Much better. Better than a piece of cardboard. Jonathan Law, yes, got that. HFTG, good evening. Good evening, HFTG. Simon Roll, Mike Adams, PTFE tape on the nipples. Yes, I tend to use the red tape on the nipples. Funny, Andy. Joe the tool guy. What's up, Andy? Good morning, Joe. What's up? Well, I've eaten my pie. I'm a lot better off now, thank you. Mike Adams, Simon Roll. Well, I'm joking. I get what you mean. Just regular Teflon tape be okay. Bilawal, you, whatever that means. Or yo, hi. Simon Roll, the white plumbing stuff, just 2 layers. You see, he's a genius. Mike Adams, oh, okay. I looked it up. I see it's the same thing. I just hadn't heard it referred to as PTFE tape. That's what us English people call it. Thanks, I'll try that when I change the fluid whilst doing the rear brake job next week. Perfect. Roger Heaps, sent a picture on Messenger. Off shortly, enjoy the week. Right, hang on there, Roger, bear with me. Let's have a look. There's all sorts going on this morning. Now, Roger says he has a dog, but in reality, it's more like a horse. It's massive. There, look. Trying to get rid of the... Look at that. He's a big lad, that dog. He really is. He's sort of... I think when he's stood normal, the top of his head is like waist height for me. He's a big lad. And I'm sure if he stood up on his back legs, his paws would probably sit on my shoulders, to be fair. Yes. Good to have him on your side, that dog. Dog helping with last milking ever on this farm. Last day. Holy crap, Roger. Well, good luck with the transition. I know it's not easy. Moving house is never easy for anybody, but you have an awful lot of stuff. And you're moving the business as well. So, you know, it's double whammy really, isn't it? Now, where did we get to? 103, didn't we? Right, so I reckon 103 is correct. So, we have the strip. Okay, let's fill that out. Now, I need to try and fit everything on here because it's quite critical. Because I might decide to do a different, you know, different flavour, different type pie from the Wild Bean Cafe. So we'll... Gourmet steak and cheese. Right, we said 103. Perfect. Right, to the wall. Dum 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 dum. It's gonna go there. Look, fantastic. We've got 2 pies on the wall already. Look. Wild Bean Cafe steak and cheese, gourmet steak and cheese, 103. I'll have to get the standard steak and cheese and we can compare that one. And the Big Ben steak and cheese and bacon, double XL, 64. Wow. Can you imagine how many pies we can get on there? We can get loads of pies on there. This is going to be great fun. Right. Where are we at? Holy shit, we've done an hour already. Okay, turning the camera around. In fact, let's do one of these boxes. These are interesting. I like these things. Right, this one used to belong to G Hall. I don't think it's stolen. I did pay money for it. But you often wonder where these things come from. Okay, just moving the stool out of the way. Now this is... it's made by Chesyvale Electronics. I need to do some research. It's a DSTS5. And it takes batteries. There's a clue for you. And they all go in there, look. So it takes quite a few batteries, and I think they're the large ones, aren't they? LR20s. Okay, so we'll close that up. Right, it's got all these little screws and everything. It's all really well made, very strong, quite a robust little box. Even the catch can be replaced, look, it's on a screw. And it's got little lugs here for straps, so you can carry it over your shoulder. And the hinge, incidentally, is made from cloth. So it's just, again, not really going to wear out. But again, it can be replaced because it's on screws, not rivets. Somebody really thought this out, didn't they? So, can I open it? I can. Here we go. Look, are you ready? Any guesses what it might be? Shall I give you a minute to have a think? What do you reckon that is? Hang on, let's go back then. Let's do that. Okay, I'm going to have a cigarette because I've just had a pie and I have to have a cigarette after a pie. So you guys have a think what you think. I know you're all frantically on Google now going, Chesyvale Electronics. What do they make? Quick, I'll tell Andy what it is. All right, I've got a rough idea what it is. And I have 2 of them, which is another sort of hint, really, another clue. Right, hang on, where do we get to? Simon, Mike Adams, top tip. When I service a bike, I go around and crack things like bleed nipples and major bolts, good idea, to loosen them, to do the backup. And then loose and then do them back up. Saves a lot of problems when it comes in for repair. Good idea. Mike Adams, I'm with you. I don't work on bikes, but the principle is the same on trucks and cars. I hate having to replace a good caliper because of a wrung-off bleeder. Yeah, there's nothing worse than that, is there, to be honest? Such a waste. John Nuttall uses Useless info. Pi in a mirror is 314 and 3.14 is the mathematical number for pi. Pi in a mirror is 314. Really? Where do you get that from? Pi in a mirror is 314. I don't get that bit. I know 3.14 is pi numerical. Anyway, Steve. Retracted that hashtag. I googled. Apparently it's already in use. Are you going to get my channel banned? Oh, God. What are you hashtagging in now, Steve? Simon Roll, insulation resistance tester. I don't know. I was told it was something different. Vijayant Governor. Hello from South Africa. Hello, Vijayant. I think that's how you pronounce it. John Dyer, it's a phone. John, you are correct. This is a linesman's phone. Let's take a look. Right. So, opening up the box. Look at this. There you go, look. Some information for you in the lid. Basically, how to make a call. Set rotary switch as required, then press loop. Honestly, I'm not going to go through all of that. I have no idea. I've got to work it out later on. Right, headset, the handset may be replaced by the TXR X7 if convenient. Unplug handset and plug in headset. Product number 0074-00. Warning, ringing output is 60 volts AC RMS. Use with care. Wow. Manufactured in England, look at that, by Chesyvale Electronics Limited, Newport Derwent, is it? No, Gwent. NP92NN, even a phone number. English stuff, I like that. Right, so here you go. This is what it's all about. And I can't really tell you, it may be that I decide to use this and the other one, which is over there, as a communication system between the canteen, the mess, the kitchen, whatever you call it, like, and the workshop. If I can get it to work, I don't know, but it's pretty cool. Everything feels quite high quality buttons and stuff in there. This is where you connect it onto the line, and I don't know what the auxiliary output's for. I'll have to get some proper instructions for this thing. But we've got exchange. Oh, intercom. Oh yes, I like that. So intercom sounds good. And then we've got a batch of LEDs to tell us what's going on. Very close there. So there you go. That's what it is. We have two of them. That's the receiver down micro switch just there, look. So a bit of a clean up, and it should look pretty good in the kitchen, shouldn't it? Yes. I'm not sure if Mrs. Mechanic will be happy or not. If not, I have another plan for them. I do, but I can't tell you what that plan is yet. There you go, look. Just think the number of linesmen that have used this phone with bits of pie stuck to their fingers. Because that's what you eat when you're out up a telegraph pole, isn't it? You have a pie for your lunch. Pretty good. Oh, it's got a button on the side as well. What's that for? Is that to transmit? Shouldn't do, really. Maybe you can do a beep, like a beep, 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 beep. Do your Morse code on it. There's definitely a micro switch in there. I don't know what it is. Interesting stuff, and only $12.50. And that one there was $12.50. Absolute bargain. So something just to play around with, bit of fun. Can I shut the lid? Hopefully not. There we go, look, job done. Right, so you might see more of those at some point in the future. Right, we've done the pie thing. We'll keep that for posterity. We've got another parcel, and this one has got heaps of stuff in it. So let me grab that without knocking the coffee over. There we go. Right, let's have a look. Now then, it's still not going to work, is it? Let's just try that again. Are you going to work? It's probably going to give us another advert. Nope, still doesn't work. Okay, going in. Right, Now this is from Eurobike in New Plymouth. Yes, that's right, New Plymouth. So I ordered this stuff the other day, and it turned up, which was nice. And they basically are one of the suppliers to the motorcycle industry here in New Zealand, whether it's workshop. Actually, there's a lot of workshop equipment, but they also do apparel as well, you know, riding stuff. Now, I did spot another box of motorcycle type terminals, and it was very cheap. So I thought I'd compare this with the other ones that I use and see, you know, how they compare basically. This cost me about $50 odd plus GST, which I thought was extremely good value at about a third the price of the other kit. Although the other kit does come in a nice box. This is only a plastic box, but the quantities of stuff that you get are about the same. Plus, I think the eyelets, there's different size eyelets here, look. Whereas in the other one, there's only the one size, which is like a 6mm ID. But yeah, basically the same configuration, you know, the same style, same dimensions of connectors. So you've got bullets down here, there's lots of eyelets, all your insulation ones, and then you've got your male and female sort of standard ones here, look. That should be good. Looking forward to using those. Always doing lots of wiring. What else have we got? Another spark tester. In fact, where's my knife gone? Hang on, where's my knife? Where's my knife? Where's my... There he is. We'll have that out of the box. There's way too much glare on that. Don't catch the lead, Andy. Oh, there we go, look. Ooh, instructions. It's a Boisetti. There we go, look. And it just basically lights up if you've got a spark. It's a very simple device to use, and I thought it'd be a good idea, you know, for on the videos, because it's very visual. Cool. Good job. I like that. And it was like $6. It was ridiculously cheap. So again, another reason why I thought I'd add it to my arsenal. Wow, this is big. Didn't expect it to be this big. A funnel. Quite a large funnel actually, with a very long spout. Super useful. So yes, you can never have too many funnels. So we'll chuck that over there. Maybe we'll have a closer look at that in a minute. And some more of those little wire brushes that I use. These are actually really, really good, made by Union. This is the HIJ22 brass. They don't do the steel ones, they've only got the brass ones. But they're actually really good for cleaning stuff up. They're nice and small, good for cleaning calipers and things. So I thought, the two that I bought a while ago, the kit is starting to get a little bit tired. Get off. God damn. Right. So I thought I'd get some more. There are two more pairs on back orders. I was stocking up. And these again are about $7 a pair, which I thought was extremely good value, to be honest. And then we've got one more thing. So we'll get rid of the box and we'll have a look at this. Right, turning round. There we go. Not very good on the old camera today. Sorry, chaps. I think it's because I've lost my connection. I can't see what's really going on. Now, this is, and I think I had one of these years and years and years ago. This is, again, made by, I probably pronounced it wrong, made by these guys here, look, Boisetti, which I believe is Italian. It's made in Taiwan, obviously, because it's cheaper. Don't make anything in Italy, do you, really? I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. This is article 0616, if you ever need to order one. And it's a cable oiler. So basically, very simply, you just back that off, slot your cable in, it clamps around the cable outer, and then when you apply your spray, your lubricant, which is somewhere in one of these holes somewhere. I think it's that one there. Yes, on that one there. There we go. In fact, you've got three different options. No, that one's blank. And that one's blank. That one there, look. Yes. So you apply your lubricant through that aperture there, look, on your little stalk. So whether it's you know, 3-in-1 oil or whether it's an aerosol can be best, I suppose, really. And it's going to force that down between the inner cable and the outer, as well. So a very simple little device, but a lot better than trying to use gravity to to get. I used to, years ago when I was a kid, I used to put the cables, and I still do now and again, put the cable in the vise, and then just keep spraying at the top and moving the cable up and down. It slowly feeds through, and then when that fluid starts dripping out at the bottom, then hey presto, you've lubricated the cable. This might speed the job up a little bit. It was like $3, I think. It was absolutely nothing. So I thought, well, we'll get one because one day I might actually use it. We will see. So there you go. Got some more stuff. Oh, where's that big funnel? I'm going to open that up. Let's have a look at the big funnel. Big funnel's cool. The problem is when you buy more stuff. Oh, there you look. Right, it's big funnel part number A5412. Completely useless to most of you, I know, but anyway. So it's almost like a vacuum cleaner size. Look at the size of that tube there. It's brilliant. So you have an adapter that goes on there, and then Mr. Funnel goes on there. Or if you wanted to, you could put said funnel directly on and have the whole thing in the vertical orientation. But I think it's pretty good actually. It's got a little lid, and it has got on the side some increments, which I'm not really sure are of any benefit in all honesty, because as soon as you start to put something in it, it's going to start to drain out. It has got a little gauze in the bottom to stop any big bits going in, but you would hope that there are no big bits in your new engine oil. So yeah, I don't really understand why it's got increments up the side, because, you know, it's never going to be correct. There's no valve to turn on and off, so as soon as you start pouring your liquid in, it's going to start filtering into whatever you've got it plumbed into. So that's not really going to be very relevant. Yes, it looks a great idea, and you know, why not? But in reality, you know, you can imagine somebody keeps pouring and pouring and pouring, trying to get up to the 500 ml mark, and they've already put 2 litres of oil in. Yeah. Anyway, good job. I like new stuff, and I like stuff that I know is going to be useful in the future. So we'll pop that over there. Oh, I've made quite a mess this morning, haven't I? So, where are we at? Comments. Let's go back. Might be some phone stuff. Here we go. The word pie imaged in a mirror is really, I suppose it is. I didn't think of that. Now then. John Nuttall, the word pie, okay, thank you, John. Vijayant, correct, brother. Thank you, Vijayant. John Dwyer, morning, Andy, by the way. Good morning, John. No problem, matey. Mike Adams, Andy, my late father would have called it a layover to catch meddlers, and we're the first ones it caught. Gary Lennox, linesman phone, made in the UK, built to last. Absolutely. It looks like it had a hard life, but it seems to still be functioning. Simon, Plan B, the new Tool Girl hotline. Oh my word, Simon, almost. You're very close. Brandon Culver, push button is to transmit the phone. Looks a lot like the ones we had in the US Marine Corps, just a different colour. Right, so you've got to press, like a CB radio, you've got to press the button on the side to talk. Wow. That's going to be cool. Mike Adams, not to mention the amount of linesmen that have used those transceivers with pie crust and filling stuck to their beards and moustaches. Absolutely. Vijayant, I need one, the spark testers. Well, very, very cheap. Very, very cheap. Really, really good. Very cheap. Only downside, looking at this, the only downside is, and they haven't made it interchangeable, it only has the larger size. You know, you add the little screwy bit on top of the spark plug. It only has that size, so more sort of car-y kind, not motorcycle-y kind, but pretty sure I can probably come up with a cunning plan to make a little adapter so it'll go into the motorcycle spark plug caps. Tests for no spark condition. So very quick. It's just an initial direction, rather than, I mean, the other way to do it is you just take the plug cap off and stick another spark plug in and put it on the rocker cover or something, and away you go. But I thought this might be a bit easier to see on camera, was the reason for purchasing it. But I might need to modify it slightly. Billa Malpa. Are cars rusting in New Zealand like Eastern Europe? They're very, very scared, absolutely scared shitless of rust on cars here in New Zealand, thinking that the car will implode as soon as there's any kind of structural rust. Those of you that live in England, like Simon and Steve, we know too well that that's not the case. The MOT only allows them, or used to only allow them, to have a little tiny sort of toffee hammer sized rubber hammer, and they'd just tap away at the chassis, and if it didn't make a hole, it was a pass. That's how it used to be in England. Over here, if it looks like it's got any kind of significant surface rust, it's a fail. Almost the other end of the scale. And they're very anal about it. They send people off to get their cars underneath all shot blasted and repainted, usually with underseal. And all that does realistically is just massively accelerate the corrosion problems, because it traps in the moisture. If you get a guy, there are some guys out there that will actually repaint the underside, and that's obviously a lot better. But just to chuck underseal straight on there is not the answer. And a lot of the cars, the apparel import cars from Japan that came to New Zealand, when they get to about 3 years old, they have to go through a really stringent inspection in Japan, and they often get exported. Those cars often went through that process in New Zealand a few years ago, where they get shot blasted and just sprayed with underseal, and it was detrimental. They'd have done better to leave it as it was, but I think they got a little bit of corrosion on the ship coming across, so they were trying to spruce them up before they were selling them. Some of them just got undersealed and they didn't shot blast it, but the ones that were shot blasted was a bad idea. The old Nissan Patrol that I brought across got shot blasted and undersealed, and I don't think it did it any good. I think it made it worse, because there's some big holes in the chassis now. Yeah, it's very sad. I can pull man spark testers, grab the wire terminal and hit the starter. Yes, Mike. I used to do that, Mike. That's how I used to check them on the little Suzuki Jeeps. Simon, Ducati made in Italy, but stop as soon as it rains. Yes. Biela. And have you instructions to heat the screws? And have you instructions? Have you inductions to heat screws? Sorry, no comprendo, or no comprende, or whatever it is in Vigilant. Will you be able to please send me one in South Africa? You want one of these sending? You'd like one of these? I can happily send you one of those to South Africa. It doesn't bother me at all. Send me an email. You'll find my email address and we'll get it organised. Mike Adams, that funnel would be damned handy for filling transmission fluid through some of the crazy bent dipstick tubes, if the end of the funnel is small enough. Hang on. Jeez. There we go. Is it small enough? Well, it's about 7mm ID, which is completely useless, and OD goes down to about 10mm, I would say. 10 or 11mm is the OD, so possibly. I'm sure you could make a little adapter anyway, but yeah, it's pretty good. Do like it. Very different to any of the funnels that I've already got. I think it'd be really good for the ROVs, actually, because I don't yet have my engine oil on a dispenser. I've got the diff oils on a dispenser, but I haven't yet got engine oil on it, which might happen, don't know. I don't find it a problem with the cans, to be honest. Right, John, hope the battery cost over there is cheaper than the UK, as phones eat them up. I might have to rig it up with a little power supply and run it off the mains. Jim K, how about a look at the week ahead? Good call, Jim. The week ahead is going to be lots of driving, as always. Got to go up to Auckland Monday morning-ish. Probably leave, I don't know, I might leave about 10ish. maybe I might actually work from home Monday morning, get some emails done and stuff, and then head up around lunchtime, and then just go straight to the surf club to drop off the Viking. Sorry, to drop off the ROV, and pick up the other one because I've got to do a swap. They've got another 6-seater ROV there, which I've got to do next. And then I'm staying in Auckland, and then I'll work at head office Tuesday morning and come home Tuesday night. Now I'm deliberating. I probably have Wednesday at home, and then I've got to go back up to Auckland Thursday morning. I'll be in the office Thursday afternoon, and then I've got to deliver the ROV 3-seater. God, I'm not with it today. The ROV 3-seater has then got to go up to Arewa Thursday night for delivery, assuming it's finished by then, which it should be. It's only a I say a first service. It's not really because it's like 6 months old, but anyway. And then Friday, I'm hoping, and we've unfortunately had to cancel a couple of times now, hoping that Ken, who's doing the wheel rebuild on the DR200, he's already done one rear wheel. I have to do a second rear wheel as a spare rear wheel for the big trip in December. He's a very, very experienced spoke wheel builder, specifically for motorcycles. Although once you've got the skill set, I suppose you can do any kind of spoke wheel, really. I've done a few motorcycle ones over the years. I did a couple of videos on them, which weren't great, in all honesty. I've done quite a few bicycle wheels. When I first came to New Zealand, I was taught by Shimano how to build wheels and measure the dish and that kind of thing. But I don't do it that often to sort of keep that skill set finely tuned. So I was talking to Ken, and Ken said, hey, no problem at all. I'll be very happy to do a video with you on how to do a wheel rebuild from start to finish. That's measuring up the wheel, how to strip it down, especially if you've got C spokes, how to make the new spokes. He's actually going to make up the new spokes. He's going to choose the ones from stock and then cut them down and put the threads on them, and then actually lace up the wheel, and then true it up properly. So we're going to go through a step-by-step process of how to do that. And the reason why we're doing the video on it is we want to capture that skill set. The skills for wheel rebuilding now, spoke wheel rebuilding, is here in New Zealand at least, is very quickly disappearing. With Tom Morris, who's the guy I used to use years ago, we did Ben's TDR 250 and a few other bikes through Tom. He's now retired. So now, rather than somebody in Auckland, there's now a guy an hour and a quarter's drive north of Auckland that's doing it. Ken also receives a lot of wheels from the South Island to do. People restoring bikes down there. So again, there's a bit of a shortfall of skill set in the South Island as well. Very specialist it's becoming. It's nowhere, people nowadays on modern bikes, they just go and buy a new wheel. And most bikes don't have spoke wheels. Most of them are, your alloy wheels, your road bikes and stuff. It's only your dirt bikes, and you can go and buy a complete aftermarket wheel set, from China for like $700. So they just go and do that, and it's terrible, really. So anyway, hopefully on Friday, we can do that. I've also been asked to do a ride, not very far away at all, actually. A ride to the South Island. It's to what we call the Brass Monkey. It's the last one ever. It's been running for 40 years, and it's the last one they're going to run. And Alan, who owns the CB750 K2, has invited me to join him on an epic adventure down to the South Island. And now it is very cold down there. We'll be riding, Alan will be riding from Auckland. I'll be riding from here. There's no point me going to Auckland to come back again. So I'll bring the bike down, whatever bike I'm riding, I'll bring it down on the trailer home, and then I'll ride from here. So I'm just still not 100% convinced that I've got time to fit that in. Been looking at the schedule. It's going to be about 3,000 to 3,500 kilometers ride, and I've got to do it in a week. It's going to take a week to do it. So I don't know. Can I afford a week out of my schedule at the moment? I just don't know. I've not decided yet. I've tentatively said yes. I've even planned the route for Alan as well, to try and take in some good places along the way. but I don't know. I don't know if I can fit it in or not. And it's going to be really cold. But hey, isn't that what adventures are all about? We will see. So there you go, Jim. That's sort of my week. Hopefully we'll get that filming done on Friday. And then Saturday, Sunday is going to be back in the workshop getting the other 6-seater ROV serviced as best as can. There'll probably be some repairs on that one. It's quite an old one. It's probably going to need quite a lot of work doing to it. So yes, lots and lots to do again this next week. And then once those 3 are out of the way, then I'm going to be straight into that big fabrication job, which is going to take me probably a couple of weeks to get done because obviously I only get weekends to do the work. And then once that's done, then I'm going to have to make a start with the vehicles that I've got to underseal, the new ROVs that we're getting ready for later in the year. So again, lots more undersealing, lots more work to get those done. So time for projects is going to be very, very limited at the moment. And one of the reasons why I've not put any videos out last couple of weeks. My sincere apologies. I just haven't had time, and I still don't have time. It's difficult. Now, bear with me, got to go back. So hopefully, Jim, that's covered that for you. Gary Lennox, Eric O from South Main Auto Channel had a good video on the black undercoating which trapped moisture. Very interesting to watch. Yes, I agree. Now, I believe the biggest problem is the application of that underseal once the vehicle isn't new anymore, i.e. it's been used on the road, moisture's got in, whatever. I apply a similar coating, which I know Eric hates. It's made by 3M. I think it's really good. I apply a similar coating to all the new ROVs that are supplied to the surf clubs through a particular manufacturer. To be perfectly honest, we've had fantastically good results. Really, really good. It's greatly retained the value of those vehicles for the clubs for when they come to resell three years down the line. And with the clubs being a charity, it's critical for them to maximize that asset value when they come to sell the machines. They're very, very grateful for all the additional work that we put in, and it's definitely secured a very strong working relationship with the surf clubs that use these particular vehicles. And I'm very happy to put the time and effort in to keep that going for them. At the end of the day, they are a charity, they perform a fantastic service, and the vehicles, to all intents and purposes, are an emergency services vehicle, and as such they have to be reliable, and corrosion is a problem, isn't it? So if it's done from new, then it seems to be really, really good. I agree. If you just spray it onto a chassis that's not prepared, it's just been pressure washed, then hey, you're just trapping the moisture in. It's not good at all. So no, I do understand what Eric's saying about that, and in certain circumstances, I mean, and also the underseal that they use over there could well be quite different to the product that I use here. This is a premium product that 3M produce. There's lots and lots of very very cheap alternatives which are crap. Vijayant, thank you, brother. Send you my details. No worries. Connor K, when your vehicle struck trailer were shipped to New Zealand, were they put in a container? Yes, they were. Parked on a lower deck of a RO, or roll on, roll off, or lifted onto a deck exposed to weather. They were in a container, and they were in that container for 3 months. Now we got told. I remember when we were in Greece, in Athens, we had to go and wash the truck before we put it in the container. So we did that. So I gave it a really good wash. Obviously I couldn't get all the mud off it, but it then went straight in the container, and it went in the container wet. It hadn't dried out by that point. And I think that was one of the biggest problems. It sat in that container and just basically sweated for 3 months. When it came out, the whole chassis was just covered in a dusting of surface rust. And quite a few of the spot welds on the bodywork had started to blow, indicating there was corrosion between the layers of metal that had been spot welded together. So I had quite a lot of work to do to get it accepted for road use here in New Zealand. But yeah, it was pretty bad, to be honest, Connor. It was a lovely truck when it went in the container, and it came out and it had quite a lot more rust on it. Bila Malpa, and do you have a magnetic induction heater? No, I don't. Simon, the guy that builds wheels round us is in his 70s and his son is in his 50s. Northeast Wheel Builders. You see, that everybody's getting older that does that kind of stuff, and they're all going to retire. It's very sad, actually. And that's why I want to do the video, because this guy, he knows his stuff. He's done it for donkey's years. And he, again, is going to retire at some point in the future. And I just want to capture that knowledge and hopefully help people out globally. That's the plan. Brandon Culver, you may have covered this, but why is Holly's motorcycle back on the table? Holly's motorcycle is on and off the workbench because I tend to keep it on there because it essentially has no. The rear wheel, the second rear wheel, the spare one that I have is going to go and get rebuilt. So I don't now have another rear wheel to put in it. So it is sort of immobile. So it needs to be on the hoist. But I did have the CT110 in there for a bit. So I just sacrilege. I chucked the wheel in with no tire on. Now the rim was going to get replaced anyway, and I wheeled it around with just the rim on the concrete. It sounded horrendous, but it did mean that I could move the bike around. And of course, I've had Alan's CB750 on there as well. Yes, I've now got the panels back from paint. They look fantastic. Yes, I need some time to fit those, reconnect all the wiring, and then I can do the carb balance. Put the pipes on, do the carb balance, put all the other bits and pieces back on, tidy up the wiring for the final job, and get it back to him. And that's it. It's done. We're not too far away now. All I need is some time. But I should really just take a week off work and just smash it all out, to be honest, and clear the decks. Guy Martin, hey up lads, how's you been? Now then, Guy, I hope you're all good, matey. Great to have you in the workshop again. I haven't watched any of your recent videos. I am extremely sorry. But great to have you back in the workshop, matey. If you've got any specific questions, feel free to ask away. As with the audience, any viewers that want to ask Guy Martin any very poignant questions about recent events, you're most welcome. John Nuttall, do it. You only have one life, Andy. I'm at the moment. I'm more than 50% going to go ahead with it. There's still a lot of stuff to organise. I did threaten to Alan that I was going to take my little TW200, and he just looked at me as if I was in disbelief that I was prepared to ride 3,500 kilometres on a 200cc motorcycle. Plus, the problem is it's very time dependent, so a faster bike would be beneficial, and one that's probably a little bit comfier as well. Now then, Mike, need a new ride video. Do the brass monkey work-life balance? Yes. Jim K, I was surprised this week. I saw a repair order from a car dealership that stated they used a Pico. What? Really? That's fantastic news. Good job. Thanks, Jim. That's really, really encouraging, actually, to see that they're potentially using some proper gear for once for diagnostics. I'm just going to put the knife away. I might cut myself later on. I'm a bit like that. So I think we've pretty much exhausted everything. We've done the phones. That's sort of work in progress. That'll happen as things progress. Oh, some good news about the lighting in the workshop, and also a flip side of the coin is bad news. So it's not going to happen. I went to Bright Light in Auckland. They're a LED specialist for commercial lighting, and I'd already emailed them in advance and was talking to them about flicker-free power supplies for the LED lights, and could they supply. And eventually we decided just to plumb a light up, get it lit, get it illuminated, and for me to film it on the phone to see if it flickered. And the good news is it didn't. So I asked them to put me a quote together. and the quote was to basically provide LED strip lights that will fit into these housings. So I'm only using the steel metal housing because I want to retain these. They're really cool. Did me the quote, came back at $6,000 to do 13 lights. No way, Jose. That is way too much. It's not going to happen. So I need to look, continue to explore. But things are slowly progressing. But as you can see on the screen, there's a lot of light in the screen, and it's not flickering. It's not doing too badly, really, is it? So maybe it's going to have to wait a little bit longer. Simon Rawls, smash the like button. Absolutely, people. Smash that like before we sign off. That'd be helpful. Guy Martin, I was filming with the BBC next week, but cannot say any more. Well, there's a spoiler alert. Thank you, Guy. We'll be looking forward to seeing that. Secret as always. Now, I understand you can't give stuff away because it's you sign contracts and stuff, and they get really grumpy if you give things away. So. Good luck with it, and if it's a land speed record or some kind of world record, then fingers crossed you'll get it and add it to your inventory of Guinness World Records. Absolutely. Top bloke. Okay, crew. Well, I'm sorry, Guy. I'm going to sign off now. I have got lots of work to do. I've got a little bit over time, but it's been fun talking to you all as always. Oh, John Nuttall. What's he say there? Look up Itchy Boots on your tube for inspiration, Andy. Itchy Boots. I'll do that. Itchy Boots. Right. I will check that one out. Okay, crew. Well, that's it from me. It's goodbye from my workshop. Coffee is still warm, by the way, so Holly's doing a fantastic job. That's still drinkable. It's fine. All right, chaps. I will see you next Sunday, 8:30 a.m. in the workshop. See you around. Cheers. Over and out.